Greetings, ladies and gentlefish, and welcome back to World of Warships. I thought I'd give a wee little update on how I've been finding it. So firstly, I thought to myself initially that I'd concentrate on the Americans, because the Americans come with guns and the Japanese seem to have more of an emphasis on being sneaky, not being seen, and torpedoes. Certainly the cruisers do anyway. The battleships may well be a different affair, I assume they will be. But I thought the Americans seemed like a more straightforward bunch of ships to start with, so that's where I decided to kick things off. I've also gone down the Japanese tree a bit though, as well, so I'm kind of trying to try out both nations. I have, because I really enjoyed the game and it was going to be removed from the tech tree, purchased HMS Warspite. I have not played a single game in her, and I am not going to, because I am new and I am crap, and I don't want to be one of those people who's bought a premium tank and jumps into their premium tank when their highest tier ship in this case, when their highest tier regular ship is a much lower tier than the machine in question. So at some point I will get around to playing the old Duchess, but I haven't done so yet. That's also the reason, by the way, why I have some premium time. I bought it as a package with Prem time. Some of you may be aware that I am no longer, not for a while, I'm not going to spend any more money on computer games because there are other things I need to save up for. I bought Warspite before I had come to that decision, so there's that. My current plans are to kind of get to about tier 4 and then probably stop for a bit. I don't mean stop playing, I just mean stop progressing for a bit and try and learn the game, because I discovered that I'm kind of rubbish at this game. I mean, I'm new, that shouldn't come as a massive surprise, but I am kind of naff. And at tier 4 you then have every ship type available. You start off with cruisers at tier 1, you get destroyers at tier 2, battleships at tier 3, and then aircraft carriers at tier 4. So yeah, there's that. Just a few, I will play some games in a minute, but I just wanted to make a few observations on the game now that we're here. So if we look at my player profile, you can see that I am ranked up all the way to level 8. It doesn't take much effort to do, to be honest. What does that get you? Well, you start off only able to do co-op battles, for anyone that doesn't know who this is, by the way. Then you get access to random battles at rank 2 as you rank up your player. Now, random battles, you start off doing random battles and you I very quickly realised how rubbish I was at them, so I went back to co-op for a bit. So random battles are your standard random battles against other teammates. You get missions available, and when I go back to the port you'll be able to see them up here in the top left. And for doing things like getting so many torpedo hits in one game, or doing X amount of damage, shooting down X number of planes, whatever, you get credits and whatnot from the missions. Free XP, you unlock free XP at rank 4. It's the same as World of Tanks. You get ship commanders at rank 5. You don't get crews in this game because clearly a warship has a crew of 500 maybe. Instead you get commanders and you get commander skills, and you have the equivalent of 6th Sense, and you have a bunch of other skills that are useful on a ship. At rank 6 you get, it starts talking about upgrades, but you have access to upgrades, modular upgrades, right from the get-go. You don't need to wait till rank 6, so I find this a little bit confusing, to be honest, but never mind. And the sort of upgrades you get are things like more guns, better gun accuracy, better torpedoes, things like that. Signals are rank 7, so if you get the equivalent of a Top Gun in World of Tanks, for instance, if you get that in World of Warships, so you get one of these awards. Then you get signals. Signals are kind of, I haven't actually used any yet. I've got some, but I haven't used any. These are like one-time consumables. Effectively, you mount them on your ship, you use them in the next battle, and you get whatever bonus it gives. Maybe it gives an experience boost, maybe it gives a credit boost, whatever. And then you get to rank 8 and you get camouflage. You can camouflage your ships up much like World of Tanks. If you look at my player summary, you can see I have a 51.7% win rate, but, caveat here, it says I've played 56 games. So firstly, that 51.7% win rate is essentially meaningless. I've been as low as 27% and up to, I think, about 55%. I mean, across this small number of games, a single win or a loss one way or the other makes quite a big difference. I don't think I'm very good at this game so far, so bear that in mind. I mean, bear in mind, I've destroyed 40 enemy ships and I've played 56 games. It's not a particularly good ratio. But I've also played quite a few co-op battles, and I believe this 56 is only random battles, just to make you aware. Achievements, so this is where you can see your achievements, and these are the things that get you the signal. So you can see I have been awarded, so far, Detonation, which is for you dying to one shot. Basically, you get ammo racked. Your magazine detonates. I've got First Blood, so picking up... it even tells you what ship you got it in, so I was in the Samson. First Blood, so that's for picking up the first kill of the match. Confederate, it's harder than it is in World of Tanks, because the damage... You have to damage at least 6 enemy ships, and damage caused to each ship must exceed 20% of their normal health. So there's that. Dreadnought, that's for receiving damage, basically that's steel wool. Devastating Strike, that's for ammo racking people, essentially, or rather, destroy an enemy ship with a single artillery salvo, torpedo salvo, or aircraft attack by causing damage over 50% of the destroyed ship's normal HP. So it's things like citadel penetrations, which I found out about, which are where your massive great shells slam into their citadel, which is where, you know, their commander and whatnot are, and do a shed load of damage. I think that's what a citadel is anyway. And then you also get It's Just a Flesh Wound, which I've got that's the most of. Destroy an enemy ship after your ship has been destroyed, whether that's through fire, torpedoes, whatever. Sorry about that. So yeah. Just before I play a game or two, and I will, a couple of observations. So far, I haven't really got a feel for how good aircraft carriers are. I haven't played one myself, and I haven't really played against them very much. Because I've only just hit rank 4. With the Phoenix and the Wyoming. HE ammunition is too good. It deals regular, consistent damage regardless of what target you shoot at, and has a really good chance of taking out turrets, setting the ship on fire, all that good stuff. It is too easy, in my humble opinion, to set ships on fire. That's just my opinion. There are skills to reduce that, but I think it's just too easy. I think HE is just too good. And torpedoes, including World of Tanks, whatever game, I'm not a massive fan of high alpha damage weapon systems, and that's exactly what torpedoes are. Now, I've actually had a lot of fun with torpedoes, but that doesn't mean that I don't think they could do with some work. I do think they could do with some work, so there we go. So, the ships I currently have available, I am not playing the Warspite. I've got the Wicks, the Tier 3 American destroyer. Oh yes, I should actually briefly mention, I suck with torpedoes, I sucked with destroyers. The first time I managed to hit anything with a torpedo was in a co-op battle, thankfully, and I hit a wreck. The guy had already died. Second time I hit anything, I got a big torpedo spread accidentally into a friendly destroyer or cruiser, completely killing him. Apologised profusely. That was in a co-op game, not a random game. And so for a while, I restricted my destroyer activity to co-op battles against the AI, rather than random battles that actually count towards your stats. Because I didn't want to wreck other people's games, basically. So anyway, I've got the Tier 3 American destroyer, the Wicks, the Tier 4 American cruiser, the Phoenix, the Tier 4 American battleship, the Wyoming, Tier 3 Japanese destroyer, the Wakataki, and the Tier 3 Japanese cruiser, the Tenryu. So I'm going to hopefully have a few games in some of these, and we'll see how it goes. Effectively, I showed cruisers last time, so I might start off by playing a destroyer and a battleship, and I might have a cruiser game in there as well if I feel like it. Just before I do that, one thing I did notice, the St. Louis, however you pronounce it, the Tier 3 American cruiser, oh my god, that gets a lot of guns. It gets more health than the same tier battleship, it gets more guns than the same tier battleship, it's faster than the same tier battleship. You know, it's ridiculous. The Tenryu, the Japanese equivalent, gets a fraction of the number of guns and health. And actually, you upgrade from the St. Louis to the Phoenix at Tier 4, and your health point pool goes down by quite a considerable margin. It goes down by like 30%. So, yeah, there's that. Anyway, I'm just going to stop prevaricating, and I'm going to try and play a few games, and we shall see what happens. So, prepare for some noobishness. I have never played a game in the Wyoming before. I literally bought that last night. Let's embarrass myself. I'm going to play the Wicks. This is the American Tier 3 cruiser, and this is going to be in a random battle. None of this co-op rubbish anymore. I haven't played co-op battles in a little while. I am, like I said, very conscious of the fact that I suck a lot of the time, so I restricted myself to co-op battles in destroyers. It's a tier 4 game, okay, that's not horrendous. But we are at the bottom of the feeding pool, you know, whatever, that's fine. I have torpedoes, I don't really care. Well, no, I do care. Because if I take a single torpedo from, like, anything, I die. It's just the way it is. And if I get a clutch of torpedoes into, like, a Wyoming or something, it dies. Torpedoes are... you have to get close-ish to use them effectively. Well, to use them effectively to do damage anyway. But when they hit, oh sweet Jesus, do they hit. Alright, so we're actually a couple of seconds late loading up into this game. One thing you notice about the American destroyers is the Japanese ones tend to have center torpedo tubes. The American ones have side-mounted. This means that if you're cheeky, what you can actually do is go past someone, launch one broadside of torpedoes into them, and if they're not dead, turn around and launch the other broadside of torpedoes into them while your first set of torpedo tubes are loading, which is more than a little bit cheeky. I've also turned my anti-aircraft guns off. You have different... basically, instead of having a view range in this game, you have a range at which you are detected. So a battleship is big, it's detected further away than a destroyer, which is small. And also you have different detectability ranges depending on whether it will be a ship or a plane that's spotting you. So a plane needs to be much closer in order to spot you. So, and of course firing tends to give your position away. So what I've done is I've turned off my pitiful anti-aircraft armament. Wow, this thing gets no health. My pitiful anti-aircraft armament in the hopes of not alerting them to my presence. Because whilst I have torpedoes, the range on my torpedoes is pretty terrible. It's 4.5k? 4.5 kilometers, which is rather close range in this game. I mean, when you consider that guy's half a kilometer away. And we're going quite fast. Whee! The Wix is quite a fast little machine. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, zoom, 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 zoom. Ooh, planes have been spotted. Don't want to shoot them, because that would give my position away. So let's not shoot them. I haven't really unlocked a ship with notable anti-aircraft armament yet. One thing, of course, that some people comment on or criticise is the amount of time it generally takes you to find someone to shoot at. But, I mean, that's because you've got a map that's, what, at a guess, 40 kilometres across? Something like that? 30 kilometres across? Way outside of my range, and I wouldn't fire anyway because I don't want to give my position away. What is the range on my guns? 8.3. I can't actually remember what my surface detectability range in this thing is. That cruiser would now be in range. So what I'm actually going to do is... Ooh, destroyer. I'm going to target him, actually. Yep, that got me spotted. Need to give a bit more lead. I'm just trying to stay out of people's way and just put in harassing fire, I guess, at the moment. And then later on in the game, when people have gotten a little bit closer together, then I will try and use my torpedoes. That's my plan. I'm not necessarily saying it's a great plan, but that's the plan. Also, oh, no, so you can see that destroyers put torpedoes in the water going for that battleship. Battleships really rather vulnerable to them. Yeah, torpedoes to port. They should miss me. Not that worried. Yay, hits. That battleship is not having a good day. He's also blocking my shots to the cruiser who was assailing him. In fact, the cruiser's just there. Alright, well, let's switch targets to this. Oh my god. Trying to dodge their return fire. Oh, there's quite a lot of it to dodge. And I'm on fire. Maybe it's time for me to get the hell out of here, because this has just gotten rather uncomfortable. So, destroyers can create smoke screens and have a speed boost ability. And seeing as most of my team for some reason is on the other side of the map, not near our cap, I am gonna have to just get the hell out of here. And not firing my guns because I don't want to give my position away. Now this effectively leaves that battleship to fend for himself, which is not great, but I don't really see what options I have, to be honest. Really don't want to leave this guy to his own devices, the thing, because I think we will lose the game if I do. Ah, screw it. Let's try and help him out. This might be a terrible idea. What was my aim like? Oh, we got a hit or two. Ooh, torpedoes into him. From someone, good effort from them. Like I said, I'm just trying to put in harassing fire at the moment. I'm not close enough to torpedo this guy myself. I am pondering the merits of coming in for a torp run though. Oh, no, he doesn't like me. Screw this. Oh, okay, no, that hurt. Cruisers really are the bane of a destroyer's existence. Because they have the rate of fire to keep pummeling you. Oh no, he switched targets back to the battleship. And speed to keep up with you, and it's all just very awkward. Just further away. I really don't want to leave this battleship to his own devices. I don't want to completely abandon this guy. There we go, and I actually picked up the kill there. Hurrah! And now we're going to run away from that battleship because we do not want to be engaging that guy. Certainly not on his own terms. So, I was going to just completely peg it, but as it turned out, I was able to put some fire in and help out our friendly battleship. Oh. Well, I managed to help him out before he died. Oh well. Which is better than nothing, I guess. And I picked up a kill in the process. Still haven't had a chance to use my torpedoes yet, though. But anything shooting you hurts when you're in destroyers. The American destroyers have relatively good guns, well, better than the Japanese destroyers. But torpedoes are still probably your main weapon. But the American torpedoes are kind of naff. I mean, it's quite hard to get within 4.5 kilometers of someone to use them. Especially when you bear in mind that, you know, cruisers and battleships tend to come with secondary batteries that will activate if you're within X range of them. Can't remember what range that is. Ooh, what's that torpedo spread like? Oh, has he managed to dodge them all? Ah, ninja. Well done, mate, well done. And they're in our base, eating our cookies. And I got detected. What a little bitch. Turn on the ACAT guns again. 'Cause I'm spotted anyway. No, he's moving away. Let's not. Let's keep ourselves unspotted. This battleship is chasing me and catching me at the moment, so let's run away. We're one ship down, but someone needs to defend this cap circle. Which makes me quite sad. I'm hoping these torpedo bombers are coming in to mess this guy up. So I'm going to try and get the reset off. Doesn't look like his main batteries are pointing this way. And then we're going to get the hell out of here. But I'm just spamming this guy with high explosive. Oh, this could hurt. Ooh. Ooh. Someone set him on fire. And he's done. Oh, crap. How am I so blind? Actually, you know what this means? See what my lead's like. Doesn't look like his main batteries are looking at me yet. And my torpedoes are in the water. I've no idea if I've given them enough lead, of course. Hoping I have. That would be hilarious. Oh, it's looking good. Well, it didn't kill him, but it certainly gave him a bad day. Do you know what's funny? Torpedoes. I'll back up. Oh, is that second brace gonna hit? Oh no! I didn't give them enough lead. I'm taking a lot of damage. Okay, I need to get out of here. His secondary batteries are messing me up. Something horrible. But torpedoes are up. And I hope that doesn't go anywhere near our aircraft carrier. So hopefully this guy is now distracted by our aircraft carrier, which means... I'm hoping I've judged those torpedoes well. I've no idea if I have or not.
Torpedoes to port.
Please don't say I'm going to hit our own aircraft carrier. Oh. No, no I didn't. Wait, did I? I have no idea if I did or not. That was not meant for our aircraft carrier, that was meant to save our aircraft carrier if I just messed that up. Which is entirely possible, and I think I might now die.
Main turret critically damaged.
So... this might be a last hurrah, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to survive much longer. Well, I mean... I think... so, here's my opinion, as unpopular as it might be. The torpedo run in that case I think was worth taking. Because our aircraft carrier was dead, regardless of what happened. And I thought it would be worthwhile trying to launch those torpedoes. I didn't know exactly what way the aircraft carrier was going. It was a risk, but I thought it was better to launch them and try to take out that battleship than to and to risk taking a few health off our aircraft carrier. That was my risk, I guess, that I took. You have to be so careful with torpedoes. And it looks like I accidentally hit our own aircraft carrier, which sucks. But there we go. If our aircraft carrier hadn't been on such low health and hadn't been obviously screwed, I wouldn't have risked launching them. I'm kind of frustrated. I'm still learning how to make torpedoes hit. I'm still not very good with them. Well, I managed to get 6 torpedo hits by the look of it. So I managed a few. I was surprised with how little damage my torpedo hits did. But I think it's possibly because I'm used to launching them into same tier ships, and I was probably launching them into higher tier ships. I think that was probably a Wyoming. But there we go. Anyway, them's the breaks. I think we've lost this. I could be wrong, but that's my feeling. There we go. There's the St. Louis, and it's just our Wyoming left, I think. So I think I did respectably well. Didn't make all the right decisions, but I think I did alright, and hopefully it gave you an idea. Well, it showed what I am like in a destroyer. I'm not the best destroyer captain out there. So, let's head back to port, and then I'm going to try out a battleship, which is going to the other end of the extreme. This is the Wyoming. American Tier 4 battleship. I have not played a single game in this yet because I only unlocked it last night. I'd previously been playing the Tier 3, the South Carolina. Yeah. So let's have a go, shall we? Let's see what the Wyoming is like. I'm not expecting it to be radically different from the South Carolina. Looks like it gets more guns, which is good. And we're into a game. It's another Tier 4 game. Okay. We can work with that. The Americans do seem to be more popular than the Japanese in general at the moment. I'm not quite sure why that is. Maybe people think they're easier, or what, I don't know. I mean, it was the Japanese who originally had the battleships in the game. The American battleships were a relatively late addition. Ditto for the aircraft carriers, but the other way round. So as you can see here, I have 6 turrets. The South Carolina only had 4, so I have more guns, which is nice. This thing's going to be sluggish as all hell, isn't it? Wow, it's even slower than the South Carolina. Then again, I am stock. I haven't got any upgrades on this, because obviously I haven't played any games in it. So, there's that. Let's go over this way and see if I can give these guys a hand. How much health do I have? 41,500! Oh, right, that would explain why it looked like my torpedoes were doing such little damage. Yeah, I mean, for reference, the South Carolina at Tier 3 has 29,000 health. And then you get to the Phoenix, and then the St. Louis has 29,500, that's the cruiser, and then you get to the Phoenix at Tier 4, which is like 21, 22k. Alright, so I'm going to go with what we got here. Cruiser, destroyer, destroyer, cruiser, cruiser. Okay. In fact, a lot of people seem to be going over here. We'll see how this pans out. So I do have a lot of guns, which is nice. I'm loading high explosive initially, because really you just want to use armor piercing against battleships. And they've only got 4 battleships, so I think high explosive, at least to start off with, will be the most useful ammo type. Wonder what my flak guns are like. Probably terrible. Battleships don't usually have the best anti-air capability in the world. And now you can see, I mean, I was in a destroyer last time, which is relatively quick. This thing is really slow. They are capping B. So we've got 3 points here that we need to capture. It's a bit like War Thunder in that sense. The previous one was just a base on each side. This is 3 bases, 3 neutral bases. So B has been captured. So you have to rack up a certain number of points in this game format. You get points for capturing a base, for holding a base, for killing stuff, and if you lose ships, you lose points. What's the range on my guns? 12.8 to all intents and purposes. Okay. How far away are you, matey? Too far. Boo, and indeed hiss. Alright, we're capping A. Oh, hang on, do I not have any hack at all? Haha, hurrah! I'm entirely dependent on these cruisers and whatnot then. Torps in the water. Oh, they're still too far away. And they're capturing C. We've got some ships down there. I hope they do something about that, or this could be slightly awkward. Oh, there we go. Excellent. So we've captured A. So that evens up the capture rate at the moment, but the enemy team is still winning. I'm also really bad at running into headland. Oh, I'm good at running into headland. I'm bad at avoiding it, running into islands. I really want to do something about B because, well, yeah. It'd be really nice to have that capture point. Battleships can be really, really slow to get started. I was thinking of jumping into a cruiser after this, but considering how long it's taking me to get into position and whatnot, I mean, a quarter of the game's over already and I haven't gotten close enough to shoot anything. I don't actually think I'm going to bother with that. Alright, screw this, let's rotate the turrets around. Or let's not, I'm being really indecisive, I know. I think this guy might almost be in range. I might try some speculative shots. Torpedoes in the water. Oh no, they've run out of steam. Doubt those are going to hit him. I thought I'd give it a go. Oh, that guy's now in range though, so let's swing about. Wait 3 years to turn the turrets. By which point I probably won't have a target to acquire anymore. Oh, okay, we're going to get a couple of turrets on target relatively soon. Now let's do something about this guy. First salvo away. Miss. That's the other thing about American guns. Accurate they are not. Is that cruiser from earlier on?
Torpedoes to starboard.
Oh dear. Well, at least they're air-launched torpedoes, so they don't hurt as much. But I'm going to take 2.
Hull breach, we're taking on water quickly.
Maybe their shots will do something, maybe not, I don't know. Like I said, American guns are not exactly what you'd call accurate.
Problem solved, sir.
So, battleships of course get to Get to... Oh, really? You see, I'm really bad at judging where these islands are and how much you need to steer. I'm also apparently really bad at leading my shots sometimes. So now I'm reversing, which is a terrible position to be in. Hooray! I've actually got some hits. Hurrah! And another fire. Yeah, battleships are not my favourite class in the game, in case you'd not noticed. So slow and ponderous, and I'm on fire again. You know, you have all this armour and all this health, but it doesn't actually count for much when destroyers and cruisers just spam HE and set you on fire all the time, and I'm not exaggerating that much, which is kind of depressing. There we go, I'll set you on fire this time. But look, those two shots from that pair of guns just straddled the target. It was ridiculous. Right, ship repair and damage repair should be up relatively soon. Spray and pray, lads. Spray and pray. One hit from all of those shots. Hurrah! Go me. Fire is out. Yay! There we go, there's some damage for you, matey boy, old chump. Start repairing some of this damage. And trying not to take torpedoes in the side. And I'm on fire again. Has he just stopped dead in the water? Wow, none of those shots hit. Not a single one. I'm going to take torpedoes in the side from this torpedo squadron now, I predict.
The enemy is about to win. Solved, sir.
Well, we just got completely mullered this game. He's just gone really slow, and so I'm really screwing up these shots. Wow, this has been an absolutely terrible game. It has nicely illustrated my problem with battleships. And time to die! Oh, no, I'm not actually dead yet. But I soon will be. Well, at least I nailed him. And I'm going to flood soon. Flooding is another dot. So, that's my impression of battleships thus far. Well, they're basically pointless. Their armor counts for basically nothing because most people just spam high explosive and then set you on fire and knock out your guns and kill your engine. High explosive is too good and needs a nerf, in my considered opinion. Not nerf to the point that destroyers and cruisers can't hurt battleships. It's not the damage of the HE shells that's the problem, it's the chance to do critical damage that's the problem. I mean, bearing in mind, you can fire your guns and get 9 hits from a single salvo. How much critical damage do you think that's going to do? The answer is an awful lot. So yeah, I mean, this game was a disaster from the off, basically, and it was also really quite boring. That's the other thing with battleships, they're quite dull. You spend a quarter of the game trying to find someone to shoot at. You find someone to shoot at, and then you get picked apart by high explosive shells and torpedo strikes. There we go, we lose. I have had good games in a battleship, but they're really not my thing. I mean, this is going to be a terrible score, by the way. Do you know what's depressing? That's halfway up the team. I thought I did really badly. I did do really... No, okay, so, just for reference, my ship has 41,000 health. If I were to consider that I'd had a respectable game, I should be looking... Now, I appreciate I'm new, so whatever. But if this was World of Tanks, I'd be looking at doing as much damage as I have health. I did 8 4,000 damage. That's 20% of my health. That's the equivalent of going out in a tier 10 medium tank with 2,000 hit points and doing 400 damage. That's one penetrating shot from my M48 pattern. That is the equivalent of how bad I did. Just to put that into some kind of perspective. And I finished middle of the team. That's just depressing. That's appalling. Oh well. That was a complete unmitigated disaster. How did the Wix... Oh, the Wix game was a defeat which we knew was coming anyway. How did we actually do? Now, the Wix game, despite having some terrible... I was going to say luck, but it wasn't luck. It was kind of judgment with that torpedo salvo against... against our friendly aircraft carrier. Did it fine me? Yeah. Fine for causing damage to allies, 4,000 credits. Doesn't look like I killed him though, which is something. Killed by our Wakataki. Yeah, so how do we finish on the team? Oh, we actually finished top on the team. So, okay, we got like 9,000 health in that Wix. Where is it? We did... Wow. well, we did 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,000 damage with our guns. Well, no, to be fair, the flooding with torpedoes. 9, 10, 11... We did 12,000 damage with our guns. Plus another 24,000 damage from torpedo hits. So, yeah. Destroyers are not easy to use, but I'm gradually getting better at them and having more fun in them. Helped in no small way by the fact that the Tenryu, the tier 3 Japanese cruiser, has quickly become one of my favourite ships. I think this is awesome fun. It's a great little machine, and I've had a huge amount of fun in it, and it basically plays more like a big destroyer. You have 4 guns in total, not that many, but you get torpedo tubes. 2 sets of torpedo tubes, and its torpedo strikes can be devastating, and so I've had a lot of fun playing with this. So yeah, I'm enjoying this game. I really am having a lot of fun, as evidenced by the fact that I put money into it. I bought Warspite, but I do think it needs work. There are some problems with it, in my opinion, and I need to get better at aiming torpedoes, which is something I already knew. And they really need to do something about high explosive ammo, in my pathetic little considered opinion. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that video. It probably ended up being a bit longer than I anticipated. I will keep playing this game on and off and give you another update at some point, and we'll see how it goes. So, on that note, I wish you all happy hunting on your respective battlefields, and I'll catch you next time. Ciao, ciao.